first speaker we have Zhang from Oslo. And we're excited to hear what you will tell us about. Yes.
Good morning, everyone. I'm very flattered that I'm the first that you welcome someone from abroad. Today I'm going to talk about our experience of transforming the medical statistics classroom with R and Quarto, so the new technology. So you don't know me, so one slide about me. I'm the lead developer of the Quarto course website for this particular course, MF 9130. And I am a statistician by training, and I sometimes teach biostatistics at the University of Oslo. Before that, I worked in the government. I helped develop the real-time public health surveillance and reporting during COVID. So I know the power of R in production. It's really powerful. And why is someone from Norway in Basel? I will talk about that at a later point. So wait on that. So today, this is a story of zero to hero, or sort of. We are going to try to teach students with absolute zero or minimal R and statistical experience to some extent that they can sort of analyze their own data set. And that is achieved with the three musketeers, as I call it, R, Quarto, and GitHub. And I will have an informal demo session at 3 o'clock this afternoon. So what are we talking about? This is an introductory statistics classroom at the University Faculty of Medicine. So our target audience would be the PhD students at the University of Oslo and the University Hospital. So clinicians and health researchers. The background of the students are really diverse. Some are doing randomized clinical trial, and some are doing lab work, and some epidemiology. And the statistical competency from what we have reported is on the basic level. They report to have very basic to basic for most of the cohort. And the statistical software is none or some no Stata or SPSS. Very few know R as their knowledge. And this course, it is an 8 days intensive course on introductory statistics, and it gives 8 out of 30 points required for PhD. And the topics are on the basic level, on a rather broad. So we introduce tests and some probability and basic survival analysis. The format is on the traditional side in the past years, the lectures and some hand computation exercises, and no emphasis on the software in the past. So this year we are going to, we have tried to use R, and we attempted to teach more data skills. Why? Because the teaching team is a bit fed up with all the PDF lecture notes getting around, and we want people to maybe stop asking us Stata questions, which none of us are really expert of, because we are R programmers. So we have made 2 big changes. One is the course website. I started using Quarto from last year because that's when Quarto really started taking off. And I built this Quarto website. This is designed for the students, so it's supposed to be beginner friendly and useful for future reference where they can check what they need. It should be easy to navigate, and it should also be suitable for different levels, because some students, they really want advanced knowledge, such as ggplot, while some really are on the most basic level. They don't know what CSV is. So we have designed this curriculum where we added, on top of the traditional statistics curriculum, we added introduction to R. We also added exploratory data analysis, part 1, part 2, so that some more advanced students, they can follow on their own. And inside the Quarto website, it looks something like this. So we have worked examples that will have the Quarto code components where students can type along and try to reproduce the results. And this is what I call by learn by verification, because when students can type in the 20 data points, and they can compute something based on the formula or using the R function, the mean something, then they see that it's the same thing, and they feel happy about it. They feel that they have learned something that's actually according to the formula. And in addition, this Quarto format is also good for visualization, where you can input this line of code and the plots inside the same web page, where students can try to replicate. So this is very useful for teaching statistical concepts such as summary statistics, p-values, and some basic tests. On the for the instructors, we use GitHub, and it is convenient for to reproduce some results, and it can be used for the future, so that we don't have to do it again in the next year. And the rendered output can help us avoid errors, because it has happened to us, and maybe to you as well, that you have lost some digits in copying, pasting from another place. So if the Quarto can render the output directly, that helps everybody. And it's, of course, useful for collaboration and version control across a small teaching team. It's also faster to deploy set using the GitHub pages, which is what we have been using. And it has saved us more than one occasion when it needed to replace the data set during the break. So that would be the first big change. And the second one would be the guided R lab sessions. We want to help students as much as possible, because many of them are beginners. We don't want them to be demotivated. And we included one live coding demo every day. So this course is 8 days. We included 1 hour every day, where we have a full example that lead them from data import, exploratory analysis, some tests, and interpretation. And what we used was the carpentry way of teaching. If you don't know what it is an organization to teach researchers some basic coding skills. And what I borrowed from that is I used the sticky note system, where the students, they can put up a sticky note on top of their laptop if they have a question. And the helper in the class, the teaching assistant, can go there and help him address his own problem without slowing everybody down. And we have to give a sufficient time for students to practice so that they can actually encounter some problems that we can help them address. Obviously, it depends on the helper's capacity. If we don't have any, we cannot help everybody. And in the end, we have a cheat sheet for them for future reference, which is essentially a Quarto website without rendering the code output. So for the instructors, it's pretty easy to do, because we copy the stuff we use in class to a new place. For the result, how did it go? I would be lying if I say that this is so great, there is absolutely no problem. Absolutely not. It's actually very challenging for the instructors, since it's the first time we tried this format. The biggest problem from the class is limited general IT skills in the class. On day one, many of them don't know what a CSV is. Where did I just download my data after I click on download data? Because they don't know where the download folder is, or they never explicitly looked for their stuff. And for first-time programmers, R is not user-friendly. That is also a very common complaint, especially for people who, doctors who are slightly on the senior side, where they want to do a PhD and do some analysis. And obviously, because students are coming from a diverse background, so it's hard to cater to everyone's need. So some really want ANOVA mixed models, and some want the ggplot and advanced plottings. So it's really a diverse class. And what about the good side? By the end of day 4, so half of the class, every single one of them can load a data set, extract the target variable, make a histogram, and do a t-test. And compared to where did I download my data set? I would say that is a very big win. And what helped with that is the RStudio project, obviously, because they can just put their data in the same folder and they click on it and it's loaded, so that they don't have to go through all the read CSV and specify the path, right? And the students, they find the interactive live demo most helpful because they can find their solutions immediately. And they have general positive feedback. And they have shown more confidence and find statistics a bit more interesting than they previously thought. And this is interesting. When we ask them, you know how to do statistic analysis in your own research? 75% think they are able to do it now. And none of them reported that they disagree. Well, the remaining 25%, they are probably on the fence, but let's hope they'll get there. So this is just one time that we did it, and we hope to run it a bit more times so that we see it's really effective in teaching statistics. Last slide. So this is a story of from zero to sort of hero, where we see some positive effects, and I will show how the website and the setup of GitHub really looks like in the afternoon. The website link is available there, and I also have a Quarto package that I developed earlier this year. It's minimal, but it gets you started. So you can check my website for more, which is also built by Quarto. Yeah, that's my contact. So final answer to why I'm here in Basel for someone from Norway is because I'm planning to relocate to Switzerland next year. So if you have a position or if you plan to have a position, please talk with me and I will be glad to chat with you.
Very exciting.
Thank
I hope you yeah, you definitely nurtured maybe some future talent, art talent. Is there any question before we move on?
Thank you for your talk. So from the feedback you received, you have some students who would like to learn more, like Cox regression and stuff. Do you think you'll have a part 2 for more advanced statistical usage?
Specifically with R programming, not yet. But in the future, maybe we will do that because all the researchers who teach, they are R programmers. So maybe, yeah.
Yeah, quick one.
Yeah, thanks so much for the talk. I was just wondering, for GitHub, did you use GitHub Classroom, so also for grading or submissions, and did you use the LearnR package for your for the Quarto document?
No, not that. So GitHub is just the most standard GitHub. We have a university account there, and we just use that, and so that everybody have access to it. And I was the admin, so I was merging everything.